1 year ago from today, I left my job in Los Angeles where I was making $150,000 to move to Thailand to just enjoy the peace, the nice beach life, and most importantly, the really good ass food. But I remember one of the most difficult things was getting my DTV. So today we're gonna be talking about how to get your DTV visa. Let's get it. Before we hop into the video, make sure you hit that like button, twin. Make sure you go to subscribe. And most importantly, make sure you throw some comments and ask me, let me guys know what questions you got. And if you're trying to have some money when you move out here by working a remote job, such as software engineering, I actually have multiple years of experience. I've been coding for about 15 years, so a long, long time, where I've worked for multiple companies like L3 Harris, Northrop Grumman, and Amazon, just to name a few. And I'm offering mentorship now. So if you want to get involved, make sure to hit my email down below in the description and in the comments. Let's log in and get you learning how to code. All right, so the first thing when it comes to getting your DTV visa is making sure you have money in your bank account. This is one thing I see so many people really skip out on. When you come here on a tourist visa, you don't need a specific amount of funds in your bank account. But when you go to a DTV visa, you do. And so that's one of the major differences. To get the DTV visa, you need about, I think it's 1 million baht, which I believe is the equivalent to about 15,000 USD. That is the minimum required amount. It is better if you have more because that really makes the embassy know that you have proper funds when you get here and that you're not gonna be doing something like scamming or something like that when you get here. And so there's a lot of confusion about what do they mean by 15,000 USD? Is that $15,000 in a Thai bank account? $50,000 in a US bank account? $15,000 across multiple bank accounts? No, that's actually really, really simple. So they just want 15,000 USD in one bank account, and you must send them a bank statement showing that you have that amount of money in your bank account at least 1 month before your departure to Thailand. So say, for example, you're coming to Thailand in June, you'll want to show them a bank statement in May, showing you have at least $50,000 USD in your bank account. And you want to make sure also as well that your bank statement shows that you have recurring funds coming to that account. And this is something I personally encountered myself when I applied for the DTV visa because I am a freelance worker and most of my money comes from basically doing music production for other people. They were suspicious that I was a scammer or something like that. So I had to show them that, hey, I'm getting regular money into this account. And it's not just a one-time big thing where I got like a $10,000, $15,000 loan out, put in my bank account, and I'm going to return it right after I get a DTV visa. So showing you have regular income is so important. And that's actually regardless of the employment that you have. But let's talk about the different types of employment you can have to be on the DTV visa. So there is essentially 3 types of employment DTV visas you can get. I'm going to break them down individually because it gets a little complicated. So the first one is that you can come on a DTV visa as a Thai employed worker. So what I mean by that is you can come over doing Muay Thai, cooking classes, something like that. So essentially how that works is that your employment is going to be you doing those things. That is going to last for 5 years. And you still have to show the same things as everyone else. So you still have to show you have money in your bank account coming in. It still has to be recurring. That does not change. But this gives you the option to do those things as well as, still be a remote worker and have a good visa to be on. Because using the tourist visa is just not a good idea. The next we can come on is the more traditional DTV visa. That means you are employed by an American company and they have approved you to come to Thailand to do your work. So what does that mean? What does that mean approved? How do you show that your company has approved you to work in Thailand? Well, it's really simple. Just get a letter. So no matter who your employee is, you still have to show that they have proof and allowed you to work in Thailand for whatever period of time that you are coming to stay for, and essentially an indefinite period of time. So as well as doing music production as well, I'm a software engineer. So I essentially just had my boss write me a letter and said, hey, Laghima can work remotely in Thailand indefinitely. And if he so chooses to extend the terms and conditions of this agreement of him working in Thailand, he can do so at his free will. So all I will do is just provide an updated letter for him. So very simple. And generally what you want is the company letterhead, their signature, and that is about it. When I applied for my DTV visa, that was one of the things they definitely asked for. They actually asked for it specifically in the first response they gave me back, which is something else that'll happen in DTV visa, that they will ask for multiple documents multiple times. But we'll talk about that at the end. Now the next one is if you apply as a freelancer. So for me, for example, I applied as a freelancer and as an employed, traditionally employed American applicant. So if you apply as a freelancer, you have to show proof that you are getting income in, and it has to be through your business. So what that means is that generally you're gonna have some sort of LLC. So you have to, obviously apply for LLC, you have one, and then you would have to have a business bank account. And then you have to show regular funds coming into that business bank account. And that business bank account, just like the standard way you would apply always, it's going to have 15,000 USD in it. And along with that, you need to show that your business is legitimate. So what that means is that you're going to have to, for example, show them some sort of proof of where that source of income comes from. If you just show them $15,000 in your bank account and some transaction showing that money comes in regularly, they'll be like, okay, well, that's cool, but like, where does the money actually come from? So you're gonna have to provide some sort of documentation of like, hey, I run a YouTube channel and my money comes from ad revenue from YouTube. Here's the YouTube channel and the bank statements showing that ad revenue is coming in from YouTube. Or, oh, hey, I run, a website and I have clients that come from the website and they pay me, and this is the website, this is how it looks, and this is all the documentation for that. And as well, just like any other employer, you're gonna have to show that you can have authorization to work remotely. So this is kind of the tricky one. If you're freelance, you're gonna have to write a letter to yourself as the LLC owner and say, hey, I authorize me to work in Thailand as the business owner. I know that's a little tricky, but they always require it. And trust me, the way the Thai embassy works, they have weird ways they work sometimes. So generally it's just best to follow the rules and to avoid all the conflict. Now, here is some stuff that no one talks about when it comes to DTV visa. So really listen. So this is stuff I got from the inside source, from people that work at the airport. They're the people that stamp your stamps at the airport and allow you in the country. So nothing can be more true than this. So there are some unofficial, unstated rules as to why your DTV can get approved, but once you get here, it can get rejected when you're trying to come into the country. So the first one is you have too many visa runs. So this is something people don't think about. If you came on a tourist visa and maybe you did like 7 visa runs, you apply for the DTV, you get it, and then you try to come in here, it's gonna look very suspicious as to why you have so many visa runs. So generally what I've heard from people that work, like I said, at the airport directly is, if you have too many visa runs, you will not be let into the country. And they will probably not only reject you and make you go back to where you came from, but also at the same time, and most importantly, you'll waste your money. So I'm telling you, do not have significant visa runs before you apply for a DTV visa. Like I said, it's not something written down in the rules. It's something I only know because I got the inside source. The next thing, if you are currently in Thailand, meaning you live here, you cannot apply for the DTV visa from Thailand. You have to leave Thailand to apply for the DTV visa. Something definitely not stated on the website. If you try to apply for the visa and some at the consulate or something like that in Thailand, they will reject you and say you have to leave Thailand. So many people that live in Thailand will end up going to like Malaysia or something like that to apply and then come back. Generally, I found that process is pretty easy, but it's something to definitely keep in mind. And then lastly, Kato. Cute little girl. One thing I love about Thailand is like, everyone is so friendly. So many times I would just be walking around, you know what I'm saying? And like little kids would just be like, hey, they'll come up to me and be like, what's your name? Anyways, and the last thing is, how does the 180 days work for the DTV visa? I see so much confusion around this about, is the DTV visa only 180 days long? Or does like after 180 days I have to do a visa run? How does it work? So it's actually really, really simple. And I feel like most people really overcomplicate it. So how it works is that when you come into Thailand, you get a stamp. That stamp lasts 180 days. Once that 180 days is up, you can go to the immigration office and apply for another 180 days. It's just an extension, and I think you go there and maybe pay like 500 baht, which is the equivalent of like $6. Very cheap. And then once that 180 days is up, you have to officially do a real visa run. You have to leave the country and come back. Now luckily for this one, once you have your DTV visa and you do a visa run, it's not like counted against you unofficially, like before you have your DTV visa, when you're applying or trying to get in for the first time. So here's the thing though, if you leave the country before your 180 days is up, that clock resets. So essentially, let's say for example, you leave the country 30 days into your 180 day stay, well then your clock resets. So now you have another 180 days to then get an extension to then lastly do your official visa run. So it's actually very, very convenient. The main thing is keeping tabs on when your visa is about to expire. If you do not, and you're still in the country, it's gonna be a lot of issues. You're gonna find, I think, about 5,000 baht. So definitely make sure you're keeping tabs on when that is. What I do is, if I know I'm not gonna be leaving the country for a while, I'll simply just write down the date. And then I know at least like a month before my visa runs out, go to the immigration office, pay the 500 baht, and I'm done for the day. Hey, if you guys want more videos like this on Thailand, how to get your visas, and also how to get money in your pocket when you're out here, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and stick around for the next video, because I drop a new video every Monday. I'll see you guys next time. Wah!